I'm painting again, but this time with fat paint. This is Go. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. I'm in Campbell River today, and I'm going to learn how to work with artisan chalk style fat paint, which is made by a Canadian company. Here to teach me all about it is Iona Wharton. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Now I brought this old painting that I picked up at a yard sale. I picked it up not for the painting, although it is lovely, but for the artisan style frame that's on it. I knew that I could paint it. I'm not a fan of this particular color. I'm sure others are. It's beautiful. But in my particular house, this decor would not work. So I understand that you guys deal in fat paint and you teach lessons.
We do.
About how to do this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna strip this frame while you guys are watching this next story, but when you come back, we're gonna start with the painting project. So this is gonna be really cool. This is like getting a whole new painting lesson, just like you did last week. Last week was an actual picture. This week it's home projects. So what we're gonna do with these frames, you can do with anything you want. A stool, a table, a chair, cupboards, whatever you would like. So we're gonna head over to Marjorie Greaves, who has this really interesting story. Have a look. Welcome back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Joining me is Iona Wharton from here at French Creek Collective on Shoppers Row in Campbell River, and they offer painting classes. So let's see the variety of what we could end up doing.
The idea with chalk paint is it's a latex-based paint.
Okay.
They add the chalk to it, and the chalk thickens the paint, so it actually goes quite a bit farther than your normal latex would. You can get a lot more, you know, sometimes you don't need 2 coats, I guess is what I'm getting at. The other thing is the chalk makes it adhere to almost any surface.
Even this shiny stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so I don't need to sand this.
You don't necessarily need to sand that.
Okay.
I have put this chalk paint on metals, I've put it on glass, I've put it on resins.
And it all sticks?
And it stays, yeah.
So this one, what are you doing there? Looks like you've got 2 colors.
So this is, and that's the other beauty about chalk paint is you can distress it. So the idea then is if you're going to distress it, you want to see something underneath of it, right?
Right.
So we've done a raven, which on the color chart here, I think is right down here. And then we've gone over it with red barchetta. And then we've just done a wet distress on that.
Got it.
Yeah. And the nice part about if you've got something that's got a profile, it's even more fun to distress.
Now this one looks different.
Yeah, that one is different. That is our robin's egg, and then what I've gone over that with is the chalk white, but I've done it in a dry brush technique.
Cool. Okay, awesome. Now this we're not doing today, but you can do this.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a product that I'm going to be carrying, and it's called Crack It. So I've used my chalk paint colors with that.
Cool.
I've got the raven underneath, and then I've done a coat of the Crack It.
Cool.
And then when that's dry, I've gone over it again with Buttercup.
Awesome.
Yeah, and what it just does is it basically, as it dries, it pulls the paint.
Cool.
And makes it look aged.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do while you're watching this next story is we are going to start to paint this frame in indigo. It is indigo right there.
Yes.
It's an artisan chalk style, and it's a Canadian company that's made this. That's such a great story that it's a Canadian paint.
New Westminster, BC.
Look at that, it's even a BC paint. How cool is that? All right, so we're going to have a look at this week's sweet spot. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Painting away here on my mat is Iona Wharton here at French Creek Collective in Campbell River. Now I have finished painting the outside of both frames in this color, and now they get to dry for about 30 minutes before we put the indigo on. It's going to fast forward for you guys though, and look at that clean brush. Took me all of 30 seconds because it is latex based, so it just washes right up, and don't look at my hands because I haven't washed them yet. But yeah, super clean, super quick. This is so cool. I cannot wait to see the finished product. So right now we are going to head over to Powell River. John McKenzie brings us a story on preparations for refugees. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We are here at French Creek Collective on Shoppers Row in Campbell River. My mat is finished. I painted the other one and Iona painted this one. Now we're waiting for everything to dry. Now you have classes on this. When is your next class in working with fat paint?
So I have several classes coming up, but my next one is on February 11th and it's at 5:30 and I held it right here in the shop.
Great.
And it's called Paint Your Small Project.
Okay, so you could bring anything, and that would include vases or little jars or anything, even a stool, right?
Yeah,
little?
like,
You have to be little. Yeah.
That would be the biggest.
All right.
Actually, bringing anything this small, like your picture frames are perfect.
Okay.
2 of those. These are too small.
Too small.
You run,
okay.
Yeah, you'd be done before
Anybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Too small.
And I understand there's wine.
Yes, I have wine. I have munchies.
And
'cause
munchies?
They go nicely with painting.
Yes, they do. So sign up for that. And right now we're going to head over to the Campbell River Storm for a little bit of rapid fire. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are here in Campbell River on Shoppers Row at French Creek Collective. My frames are dry with the first layer. Now, fat paint, what's the history?
It's a brother and sister team out of New Westminster.
Awesome.
Yeah, and she was a crafty gal and came up with this idea and presented it to her brother, who also has, don't know a lot about it, but a background in
set design
and stuff. Yeah, and when she suggested what it was to him, he said, "Oh, that's fat paint," he said. And so that's kind of where it all started. They started mixing it up with his great eye for color and stuff like that.
Cool.
And they decided that they would just go with that name because it worked.
And it's such a fun name.
It is a fun name.
Fat paint. So now we're going to paint the blue. And this is actually called indigo. Is that right? Indigo. Yep. This is indigo. This is going to be my top layer. And while we are painting, you get to find this out. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are here with Iona Wharton at French Creek Collective in Campbell River on Shoppers Row. We have finished painting the second layer. Now we are going to go to the next stage. Now what we used is an artisan chalk style paint called fat paint. And I'm wearing my fabulous painting shirt. Now, if Lisa McReynolds is watching, you will remember that you gave this to me way back in 1990 when you came back from Italy. It's got Roma written across it. I've been using it as a painting shirt for about the last 10 years. And we have your fat paint
my lovely
apron on, so we're keeping our clothes clean because pretty messy. Look at the table. Oh my, totally destroyed. So what do I do to get that distress look? Because we got one layer that's the burgundy, and then one layer now that's blue. So how do I?
So we decided we're going to do a wet distress. So
and
basically,
damp.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of instead of using your sandpaper to get the same effect in a little softer way, you're going to use a wet J-cloth, wet paper towel, whatever. And so you're just going to lightly rub wherever you want to distress. And just a point about distressing is you should distress where it would naturally wear on things. So on a picture frame, it's a little bit different. But, you know, if you were doing a cabinet or something, you'd want to just distress around the handles and things like that.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah. And so you just take off as much as you want. And as soon as you can't get any off, you turn your thing and get a new spot on your rag because it's just saturated.
Now, because this is actually scalloped, the wood itself, it's actually creating a really cool effect.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, well, while we continue to distress my frames, you are going to watch this short break, but we'll be right back. Have a look. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Welcome back. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We've been here with Iona Wharton learning how to paint and distress with fat paint. Canadian-based product, amazing stuff to work with. And it also comes with wax for the final touch. So when you're all done everything and it's dry, what do you do next?
So I'm just going to show you on here because we want our little frames to rest for a bit. So this is just a carnauba and beeswax based fat wax. It feels like hand lotion. It's beautiful.
Oh, cool.
Just goes on so lovely. just take a little bit and you're just gonna rub it on, rub it on, rub it on.
And that's all you do?
And that's all you do. You rub it in and then
there's a bit of a sheen.
it gives it a nice sheen. And what happens is in about a half an hour, you're gonna come back and you're just gonna lightly buff that.
Awesome.
And the more you buff with this wax, the shinier it gets. So if you don't want a real shine, just a light buff and you're done. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. The next class is on February 11th. Check out the Facebook page for more information about all the classes that Iona offers here. It's a lot of fun, and it's so much fun to get your hands dirty.
It is.
Yeah. And there's wine and munchies. All right, when we come back, I will be over at Strathcona Gardens learning about a couple of new upcoming fundraisers. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Thank you so much for watching Go. We are now on location here at Strathcona Gardens on the Campbell River storm ice, and we're trying really hard not to leave our imprints of our shoes on the ice. So joining me, two very special gentlemen today, Lee Stone, who is the coach of the Campbell River Storm, and Mr. Mason Harris, who is one of the coaches for the Tyee. So you're going to talk about this fundraiser you guys have coming up on Saturday, February 13th. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a scholarship dinner and dance that we started last year for our scholarship event that we give to our players. Last year we were able to give out 3 scholarships to 3 different players, and
awesome.
All 3 are going to schools this year utilizing them. So it's pretty cool that we're able to give back like that for sure.
Awesome. And where's the dinner dance being held?
We do it at the Eagles Hall. So we definitely have some fun there, and we do a dinner and a big dance, and we do auction off the boys, have some fun with that. And the guys have a lot of fun with it.
What do you mean you auction off the boys?
You get a final dance, so we have an auction with every player. So at coaches as well, unfortunately, not much of a dancer. So, but it's a lot of fun. Everyone has a great time, and obviously it's for a great cause too.
Awesome. And then the very next day, you have another fundraiser. Mason, tell us about that.
Yeah, that fundraiser is a hockey game between the Campbell River Storm, who have been out partying the night before, I guess, and a bunch of players that have come back to Campbell River that played in Campbell River minor hockey and then went on to play Storm hockey or college hockey, and in some cases even professional hockey.
Awesome.
So it should be, and then we have a guest player. We have Lee is going to play for the Tyees against the Storm.
Oh,
yes.
Interesting. So any wagers?
We're going to win. Hopefully the boys don't see this, because they might pick on me a little, but we're going to win, for sure.
All right. Now, what's that fundraiser for?
The fundraiser and the proceeds from the game go to Cameron's Cause for Kids Help Families, where they have children who may be sick or in an accident or something like that, and we help with the cover expenses related to that.
Awesome.
Yes.
And that's on Sunday, February 14th.
That's right.
So the scholarship dinner and dance is on the 13th, and then the hockey game is on the 14th. What time is the hockey game?
I believe it is at
4 p.m.
2 p.m., isn't it?
2 p.m.?
2 p.m.
1:30 warm up.
Perfect.
2
Mason's
p.m.
got it.
All right.
1:30, 2 p.m.
Yes.
So they don't have a lot of time to recover from the night before, so you guys just might win.
I think you're right. Let's hope so.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure, and good luck with both fundraisers. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Thanks very much.
And now we're going to head over to Powell River, and John McKenzie brings us a spotlight on language. Thank you so much for watching Go. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We started the day at French Creek Collective down on Shoppers Row in Campbell River, and it was spectacular. I now know how to paint with fat paint, and now know all the origins of it as well. Thank you so much to them, and also thank you to Lee Stone, coach of the Campbell River Storm, and Mason Harris, who is heading up the fundraiser on the 14th for Cameron's Cause. It's been a great show. Thanks very much for coming along. We'll see you soon.